like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Felp. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. We in this thing of a happy Saints-giving to all my diehard Who Dats across the world. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining me for this a happy episode of the Sports Coma. It is Thanksgiving. It is Turkey Day, whatever you call it. We chilling with family and friends, man, and during this special time of the holidays. So shout out to the fam. Happy Thanksgiving to all the fam out there. Shout out to the fam. Trey, good to see y'all. What's up, Chantel? Shout out to you, Kevin. What's happening? OG is in the building. What's up, Mike? How you doing, sir? Appreciate everybody for being in the building as well. Brother JT, much love, bro. Brother Tori is in this thing. Much love, Pam and Whammy. Shout out to the Queens, man, representing the Who Dat Nation. Big ups to everybody, man. Peace to woke. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you being in the building as well. He says, hoping we draft the QB this year. That's not a 5th or 7th rounder. I don't see a first-round draft pick quarterback happening. My brother with Dennis Allen sitting on top of the team. Unfortunately, they have quite a few good ones that'll be available from rounds 1 to rounds 3. And I don't know if we'll get one, man. I just don't see it happening as long as Derek Carr and Dennis Allen is here. So I think that's probably not going to happen. Marley Mall, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the building. Appreciate everybody. As we're going to talk a little Saints, fam. So in this one, man, I hope you guys having a fantastic holiday, man. As chilling with the family and friends and everything, man. I just wanted to talk to the family members. We're gonna be doing. It's gonna be quite a little bit busy broadcast afternoon for the family members, giving you guys just a kind of an update on some of the stuff that we're gonna be doing tonight. Shout out to my brother Randolph from the Who Dat Keeping It Real podcast. We'll be doing a collab coming up later on tonight. And then, of course, we got Big Low, and me and Big Low going to collab on the preview for the Saints and Falcons matchup coming up later on tonight about 9 p.m. Central Time. So just a little something for the family members, man, for some late Saints-giving broadcasting. So shout out to the fam. I hope y'all doing all right, man. You know, I ain't going to say it's no rest for the weary, because I'm far from weary, baby. Baby, I'm ready, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Shout out to the fam, man. Shout out. Reginald, what's happening, fam? Much love. Gobble, gobble day. There you go. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you, man. I seen that. Sean, Coach Payton is 5-5. I knew Coach Payton's offense eventually will kick in. It take a little time, man, but he has a good offensive system. Russell Wilson just had to pick it up, and he had to get his players involved. He had to move guys out, guys that that he felt like was holding up the progress. He made some moves, some changes. And I think they done won 3 or 4 in a row. They're now 5-5. So they had quite a turnaround, but I knew eventually if it wasn't this year, it'll be next year that Coach Payton would turn them around. To be honest with you, they really wasn't that bad of a team from a talent perspective. They just didn't have an identity offensively, and guys just didn't believe in what was going on with the head coach. So ultimately, at the end of the day, He made the changes, and when you make changes, family, things happen. That's the thing with the Saints. Saints don't make any changes. They talk about it. They being Dennis Allen talks about it, but they don't make the changes unless somebody is hurt and they forced to. Then you'll see changes in the lineup. Like you see here or there, guys. If they're hurt, they can't play. Then they are forced to make a change. But no proactive changes are happening with the Saints. But yet and still, perhaps we'll see what we just observing this thing. We watching how everything goes into the season. We'll just have to watch and see how it rolls going in here. So yeah, he says we're going to resign Carr. Well, Carr did say that 4 years, and then he'll, then it's the rookie quarterback we picked up is Hayner's time. And I don't think it'll be Jake Hayner's time at that period of time. We'll see where it is, but can Dennis Allen survive that length of time? I'm saying inside of the next 4 to 5 years, they're going to automatically be changes in the Saints building. Number one, Mickey Loomis is probably going to be gone. Kai Harley's probably going to be the general manager inside the next 2 to 3 years. Then you'll see what happens. Does he keep Dennis Allen as his coach based on what Dennis Allen is doing on the field? And a lot of things could change between the next 2 to 3 years, to be honest with you, fam. A lot of things could change. All right. So shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the building. Yes, indeed. Chantel is heavy-handed on the Saints, man. She said the Clowns have to play Sean Payton and the Broncos on Sundays. Yes, indeed. All right. So big ups to the fam, man. Good to see y'all. I hope y'all having a fantastic day. Painful Truth says, who is happy about what the Saints are giving? Well, we are happy about Saints giving, but maybe not from in terms of the team. There is some positives, okay? Let us not, forget some of the positives of it. Even though the offense is stagnant, the defense is up and down. The team is, I guess there's some positives, and I ain't gonna say begrudgingly have to find them, but the team currently, man, is still a potential, right? There's always a chance. There's always a potential that things could jive, things could flow, things could happen that can change the fortunes of the team moving forward. Things can happen. So we'll see what they are going forward. I'm not I wish I was somebody that could see a few things in just a day into the future. Oh man, I hit the hell out them lottery picks. But listen, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, there are some bright prospects, and not as all as bad in the Who Dat Nation. There's still a lot of bright prospects and things to look forward to going forward. Not all bad. It's not all dark. We're not the Carolina Panthers, family. Carolina is a dismal 1-9 right now. They have no aspirations of anything right now. So just be thankful that we're not a 1-9 dumpster fire who just hired a new coach and they're about to fire the coach, and it's just all kind of ways crazy. That is a bright prospect within itself. So, even though they're not where we want them to be, obviously we know why they aren't, but they're still positive prospects. I can't ignore the positive, right? I'm supposed to keep it balanced, right? All right. So anyway, shout out to the fam, man. As we keep it going, Shrine, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you being here as well. Pelicans, Nola, good to see you, fam. Appreciate you. Happy Turkey Day to all y'all, man. Pammy says, love my Saints, but I checked out until DA gets Ratatouille looking ass. Yeah, he do look. He kind of that. He does. I'm not gonna get on. I ain't gonna talk about it, man. I'll be tearing them up. All right, so anyway, let's jump into some of this stuff, fam. Let's get it going, man. Y'all can feel free to drop questions or comments in the section, and we'll go over it. Starting the broadcast off, we'll take a look at this article right here. As Saints Derek Carr likely to play versus the Falcons after clearing concussion protocol. From Bleacher Report, Saints are in line to get their starting quarterback back for Sunday's matchup against the Falcons. According to Cat Terrell, Carr cleared concussion protocol Thursday. That means it is likely he will play in the NFC South showdown. He suffered the injury during the Saints' Week 10 loss to the Vikings. He exited in the third quarter and did not return, although he was a full participant in Wednesday's practice after the team's bye week. Unfortunately for the Saints, they will not be at full strength because Michael Thomas is on the IR because of a knee setback, and cornerback Marshawn Lattimore is dealing with ankle injury. So Winston entered the game against the Vikings, and after Carr suffered the concussion and shoulder injury, and you see Jameis went 13-25 for 122, 2 touchdowns against 2 picks. Offense did show some life. Sunday's game against the Falcons is an important one. It's the first place in the NFC South at 5-5, but just one game ahead of the 4-6 Falcons and 4-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It already lost the Buccaneers once this season and still has 2 games remaining against Atlanta, so it cannot afford many head-to-head losses. And there are no teams, y'all excuse the noise. I mean, we as families around, man. There are no teams above 500 in the entire division, but the Saints can change that. If Carr plays well against the Falcons, he won't have Thomas on the outside, but Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed have been the 2 top wideouts from a yardage standpoint. They should be able to generate yards through the air against Atlanta. That is the middle and 18th in the league in points allowed per game. And it's a solid matchup for Carr to establish some consistency after throwing 10 touchdowns and 4 picks in 10 games. So Carr, really, to be honest with you, Carr is really suffering, be labored with all these different injuries. The Atlanta, the Green Bay Packer game when the guy slammed him down, I think he severely bruised his ribs. I heard stuff about broken ribs. I don't know about that. I just think that he just hadn't been right. And he's nervous. Now I ain't gonna say nervous in the pocket, but he's uncomfortable in the pocket. The dude's uncomfortable in the pocket. You can tell he's not comfortable standing in there. Everything is forced and everything is impatient. Everything is checked down. Everything is like that. So, Carr is, it'll be interesting to see how the Saints deal with it. But once again, there is no change. There has not been spoken of any change. I'm going to play Dennis Allen's teleconference that he had. When him talking about it. Also, Pierre Paul will get a little bit of his interview as he makes his way on to the team as well. All right, so let's move into the next article right here. And that's the Thursday injury report that was released not too long ago. 5 Saints players listed on the injury list. Saints listed on it. They released the report for week 12. Lattimore, the ankle issue was DNP'd. Hurst played, fully practiced. Kendre Miller had an ankle issue. He was shut down, as we know. Ryan Ramczyk limited. Isaiah Foskey is also limited in the matchup. And you see Ryan Ramczyk has a knee issue, and he's getting rest. Them knees for Ryan Ramczyk, boy, what a tremendous damn fall that he had. So Atlanta with Mac Hollins is dealing with an ankle issue. He was DNP'd. David Onyemata, Tyler Heineke, D. Alford, and Younghoe Koo all limited in action. Younghoe Koo, the kicker, has a back issue. So we'll see what's going on with that as well. So anyway, with that being said, a lot of stuff going on with the Falcons and the Saints right now. In terms of the injury situation, we'll have to see whether or not what these guys can do to get better. And Saints, and like I said, the big question is, what the hell does Dennis Allen and all these other guys do? What the hell do they do in terms of fixing the offensive issues and woes that the team currently places? There have not been any explanation or talking about change from an offensive standpoint. Does Pete Carmichael keep calling the plays? And it's just nobody has any faith in this administration because they're full of BS. Don't say the C word, which is change, and don't do anything. Do not do or talk about doing or talk about making changes, and then don't make any damn changes. We'll go into it. But anyway, let's move on to this next one. NFL fans are saddened by the latest update on former Saints Drew Brees. I know y'all guys probably heard about the Drew Brees situation as well. And we talking about what Drew Brees said. I know y'all probably seen some of this stuff about Drew, man. And it's sad, man, when I heard Drew Brees said that. And this is just a side effect of playing in the league, man. So let me play this for y'all. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all heard this, what was said on Greeny's show about Drew Brees, that we knew he was having issues, but to have this, here we go.
Drew, when was the last time a team called you to play for them?
It was probably the year after I retired. So it was at 2021. There might have been a feeler or two that was put out there, after that. But no, I look, I'll let you know a little fact. I don't throw with my right arm anymore. My right arm does not work. So when I throw in the backyard right now, I throw left-handed. I can play pickleball just because it's below the waist, but anything above my shoulders, I've got a hard time with. And it's probably it's definitely a result of the injury that I suffered when I left San Diego. the dislocated right shoulder and all that stuff that, I thought I may never play again. So that kind of put me on the fast track to a degenerative shoulder and all kinds of arthritic changes and stuff like that. So no, I don't throw with my right arm anymore. So if I could, I would absolutely still be playing.
Wow. Drew Brees says his left arm doesn't work. Well, I know it works, but that's really interesting, man. And geez. Damn. So that, when we talked about that before, when we covered this, when Drew Brees was playing toward the back end of his career, I often talked about, the things that I witnessed with Drew Brees, and the lack of arm power that we was talking about, the arm exercises he was doing just to play. The fact that he was a 20 yards, 15 to 20 yard check down guy, or your offense was methodically moving at 20 to 25 yard increments at a time. And it's just horrible that that he went through that stuff, man, that he ultimately has suffered that type of issue. But, he talked about something that happened with San Diego when he hurt his arm scrambling for the fumble that ultimately led to them getting rid of him there. So, I mean, that's very interesting, man, for Drew. But at least, Drew, financially speaking, was a lot more set up than someone else. And this is something else I don't know if you guys are aware of either, man. This article right here, did you guys know about former Saints tight end Boo Williams? NFL disability program leaves retired Saint tight end hurting and angry. Did anybody hear about this particular situation that occurred with Boo Williams? Did anybody know about this? This was something that came across my messages about Boo Williams.
Getting up in the morning is real hard. It's like you got hit by a truck. My neck hurts really, really bad in my back, and that's the main problem that I have. It's my back. I tore my Achilles years ago playing ball. My lumbar, my back, and my neck. I know I have to have surgery on my neck. I know I have to have surgery on my back. I knew this years ago while I was playing.
Oh my goodness.
We drive the league, and for them to turn their back on you when you're finished and act like it's nothing, that's the frustrating part. I was being denied from the NFL for trying to get my benefits because your body hurts so bad. And I was feeling so much things going on in my head, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I found myself on the railroad tracks in 2011 trying to kill myself in Maryland. That's why I smoke my weed so I can be calm and I can be, kind of painless for a moment. So I try to stay even keel. That's why I moved here in the country in Picayune.
Man, what's happening, man?
I moved around a great group of people.
Boy,
Your plate runneth over.
That's when you know it's going to be good, when it's dripping off there.
If you don't stop someone from mistreating you, they're going to mistreat the next person. I just can't sit by and continue to let them do this to other people, because if I let them do it to other people, who's going to stop them?
All right, that was Boo Williams, man. I was totally unaware what Boo Williams was going through. I knew he had some concussion issues, but he said he wakes up each morning not knowing how the pain will hit. It becomes debilitating headaches that make it impossible to get out of bed. Sometimes the pain shoots down his neck. He says through all of it, he's angry. He played tight end for the Saints from 01 to 05. He needs surgery, medicine, and doctors, but struggles to afford any of it. The 44-year-old who lives in Picayune, Mississippi, was recently awarded $5,000 a month by the NFL's disability benefit plan, but says that the plan and the league have repeatedly mishandled his claims and should have paid him $500,000 or more over the last 14 years. He says, I need all the help that I can get, because some days it feels like it's going to be all over. He told the AP. Sometimes I can't sleep. It all makes it harder when you're fighting to get what you deserve, and all you do is get frustrated. So, yeah, Boo Williams is having some difficulties there. Over the last 30 years, the league has added millions of dollars to the plan, for retired players with injuries that suffered playing football or that emerged after their careers were over. Approved as a part of a collective bargaining agreements between the league and players union, the plan expects to pay more than $330 million in benefits in 2023 alone. More than six-fold increase over the last 12 years, NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said. But plaintiffs' lawyers point to a high rate of claim denials and a system in which doctors assigned to examine players are paid by the NFL plan as evidence. The system is rigged against the retirees. So even though they agreed to give them the money, they make the hurdles incredibly difficult for guys like Boo Williams and others to get through. So you look at earlier this year, 10 players, including retired Pro Bowl running back Willis McGahee, filed a lawsuit accusing the program of unfairly denying benefits to injured retirees. After years of putting their bodies on the line with the NFL promise of assistance should they need it, former players were met with an unfair and biased system for obtaining their rightful benefits. Williams was first signed as an undrafted rookie for the salary of over $200,000, made a total of $2 million over his career, and never sought the top award. So there's a lot that goes on there. A very long story about Boo Williams, an unfortunate situation as well. But Boo is one of many NFL players who played in the NFL who are currently having issues with injuries, dealing with all type of basically myriad of different injuries, from headaches and back issues, all kind of stuff. And it's a sad day. So shame on the NFL, man. And this is all of the BS that they do and talk about how they take care of this and the shield and all this integrity nonsense. And all it is a massive money grab for the people at the top. So for people saying, what do we have to be thankful for, man? It's a lot to be thankful for, man. So prayers up to Boo Williams. I don't know if Boo Williams have any contact information on here where people can actually reach out to him and possibly donate to his cause. We don't know, but yeah, it's a lot going on, man. It's a sad day. And I remember Boo Williams, man, was a really cool dude. And it's unfortunate that he has to go through this type of stuff. You can see his paperwork. They posted his paperwork right here. And the fact that they turned him down, he got all that, put all the receipts on there. Long article, family. If y'all want to read the rest of this article, y'all can go to the AP page and just put Boo Williams lawsuit and it'll pop up. And you can read this entire lengthy article about Boo Williams, man. But I just wanted to bring that to light to some of the family members on the back of the Drew Brees thing as well. So prayers to that brother, prayers to Drew, man. But like I said, at least his money is not funny, where he can kind of have more of a comfortable life is if it were, versus a Boo Williams who simply needs money just to get the operation so he can get right. He doesn't have enough money to get the operation for his back and his neck. So unfortunate, man, very unfortunate. All right, fam. So anyway, let's get ready to move and we'll bounce to this one right here. This is Dennis Allen's press conference about the Saints. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
They do, and yet there's a lot of things that are different. I think they're playing really well. They're big. I think they play physical. They do a pretty good job in coverage. And so I think, I think this is a much improved unit from maybe what we've seen.
Hey, DA, obviously you guys worked out JP people. What did he look like at his first practice?
Yeah, I thought he looked good today. The one thing he's got is he's got skins on the wall. He's got, pedigree. He's really an instinctive player. He understands the game. So I thought he had good practice today, and hopefully we'll get to continue to evaluate him and see where he's at.
Derek completed practice today, and then what's the next step in making sure sure he gets cleared through the protocol?
Yeah. Look, ultimately, he's got to get cleared by the doctors. Full practice today, so it's kind of wait to see what the doctors say.
Todd, y'all put Michael Thomas on IR, and you said with Thomas and Lattimore, they both are supposed to be out for a while. Is there any plan to do that with Lattimore as well this week?
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait and see. I mean, we're going to just continue to evaluate it, and if that needs to be the case, we'll let you know.
Dennis, are you able to say what Mike is dealing with? Or was it a knee issue?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into any details in terms of what he's dealing with. I mean, obviously he's got a knee injury that was significant, and he's in the rehab process.
Dennis, how much self-scout did you do on the run game and the bye week, and what do you think you could do to get that going?
Well, look, we obviously looked at it a lot. I thought the last game, I thought we ran the ball a lot better. I mean, I think, one of the things that we have to be able to do is we have to play a lot more complementary, team game, offense, defense. And, I think if we do that, I've seen some improvement in the running game. And, a lot of times the run game's about having opportunities to run it, and score sometimes can dictate that.
Just to clarify, Derek Carr was a full participant, not limited?
That's correct.
We'll have the report out soon.
And how does he just look out there and what he was able to handle?
Yeah, he looked fine. I thought he looked good.
With the Falcons offense, they have so many weapons. You mentioned the run game, but what kind of stands out about Drake London and Kyle Pitts and maybe the way that they use some of those guys?
Yeah, I think one of the things that you see with them is they've got a lot of big targets that can make catches in contested environments. Both of those players were high draft choices. Both of those players are really good players. Both of them possess speed, transition ability, and I think that's what causes problems is that they have a multitude of different personnel groupings that they utilize, put guys in different spots. I think they do a nice job of, utilizing their personnel, and they've got big targets that can make catches in contested environments.
Yeah, what are some of the challenges that Bijan Robinson presents to the defense?
Yeah. Well, a little bit like what I was just saying, they utilize him in a lot of different ways. They align him in the backfield, hand it to him, throw it to him. They put him out of the backfield and utilize him, more in a kind of a receiver mode. They do a lot of, motion, misdirection type of stuff with him. So there's just a lot that, they do with their personnel, which makes it challenging for us to defend.
Yeah, obviously it was a late switch in camp. What's been your review of Monty Taylor in the last 10 games?
Yeah, I think he's continuing to improve. I think there's obviously still some things that, I'd like to see him do better. But I think he's made significant improvement inside in the slot.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, that's DA, man. That's DA. And what's interesting about Dennis Allen's approach here, they talked about Derek Carr looking good in practice. And I asked the question, I'm like, I'm not trying to disparage, but, how the team practice, you'll see an inkling of that in like real-time action. Like they got a rhythm in practice. They usually, for the most part, carry that over into the actual game, the real game. So when they're disjointed in practice, I can't help but to, looking at what they're doing on the field, because we don't watch them enough in practice to see, if they look like this in practice. And the question and the comment is they probably do look like what we see in live games in practice. And if it's looking disjointed like that, I can't understand how any offensive coach or boss that's sitting over the top of the team would ultimately go into the game with confidence that the Saints offense could perform. It's not going to take it. It's not luck that's going to actually do anything here. It's not about luck here. It's actually really about skill and preparation and everything. And if you preparing and practice all disjointed and miscommunications in practice, and you're not having smooth practices at this point, and we like what is it, week 12 or whatever it is into the NFL season, we still seeing miscommunications. We still seeing guys not knowing who they're supposed to block. We still seeing all this disjointed chaos stuff going on with the team. That's a big problem. That's a major problem if you the Saints organization for real, offensively speaking. Now let me talk about this because I see one of the Falcon people said that the Saints wasn't going to win. And shout out to Be Kind. Shout out to Be Kind. Happy B-Day. Happy who that Thanksgiving birthday to you, my friend. Appreciate you for being in the stream, man. Much love to you. And everybody give Be Kind a happy who that birthday, family. You know, we always got to represent that. And as well. But shout out to all you guys, man. Chiming in. Mario, my boy Gundam, and the rest of the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream as well. Prophet, I see you, fam. Much love to you. But this is the thing. If we watching the Saints in the majority of the time that we see the Saints offense out there, it's a disjointed mess. What percentage would represent the balance of positive plays versus negative plays? What percentage of it? If you got a pie chart in front of you, a full pie is 100%. What percentage of positive versus negative plays do you see the Saints offensively speaking produce? Is it 60-40? Is it, what is the percentage to you? Is it 75-25? Meaning, you see what I'm saying? What percentage of disjointed negative plays versus positive plays offensively do you guys see? Give me that percentage. Put it in there. I'd be interested in see what do you guys think that should be, because two things here. One thing I want to mention between the Saints and the Falcons, we'll talk about it later on today. We'll be doing the Saints and Falcon preview. My dog Lord will be chiming in, man. He'll be doing the preview tonight at 9 Central. This is the thing I want to know is if you got two coaches that's going on, if it's between two coaches, if it's between Dennis Allen and Arthur Smith, who's the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and people said, Q, take a pick between two coaches that you guys see, which you would like to have as your coach. Arthur Smith would be the only coach in the NFL that I would actually take Dennis Allen over, He would be the only damn dude. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Arthur Smith is actually in control of the offensive play calling sheet, which is ridiculous. He has no imagination. He has all these fantastic players like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and others, and he has absolutely zero idea how to utilize them. This is a dude that's basically a caveman with a play call sheet. He has no idea what he's doing. He would have thrived in the Bill Cowher days, in the days where you run the game, you run the ball and play defense. That's what he is. He'd be a good coach to go and coach Army or some damn body. But in terms of knowing how to fully utilize diverse talent like that, absolutely not. And he is in control of them people offensive play calling. Dennis Allen knows what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball. We don't have to worry about Dennis Allen majority of the time from a defensive perspective. He's a good defensive coordinator. Arthur Smith is not a good offensive coordinator, and that's period. So between them two guys, that probably be the only time that I'll actually pick somebody, Dennis Allen, over somebody to be a head coach. Their problem is their head coach who controls the offensive book is in their way. He refuses to relinquish the play calling sheets to somebody with more talent, and that will continue to stifle the team. They will continue to stifle and frustrate the team. Now, Dennis Allen's issues are different. He knows what he's doing defensively speaking, and he stays out of the way of the offense. So it's really his ability to micromanage to a degree, or to peek over the shoulder of Pete Carmichael and say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you one more game. And if you don't get this offense buzzing in one more game, we're going to then take you and move you, kind of demote you and try Ronald Curry for a week. So, that type of thing. He's not involved in none of that. So he doesn't do that. So that's one of the many things I would say about Dennis Allen. But Arthur Smith is directly in the way, and that's supposed to be his expertise on the offensive side of the ball. So that, to me, is the reason why I would say that the Saints would beat Atlanta, because Arthur Smith is the problem. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to use all that talent them people that are amassed over there. And eventually he's going to get ran off. He's going to get ran off eventually. All right, let me go over some of these things. And that's just, my perspective on it. All right, Chantel says 40%. Thank you. What's up, KK? Says 35 to 65. Gundam says 20%. All right, okay. Tracy 100. All right, Marlo says, what's up, Marlo? Says a crapshoot. All right, thank you, bro. Frankie says 45%. Trace 25.75. 45.55. Okay, Marlo, thank you. Be Kind says 80 to 20. Okay, cool. All right. Prophet says 35.65. Thank you, Prophet. All right, let's see. Tuck says, what's a negative play? It feels like 63 to 40, 63 to 47 negative to positive. Yeah, that's the thing. And this is all, and listen, all of you guys are right, because it's a question that is based upon from your vantage point of what you guys see the Saints offense as, in terms of how many positive plays that you see in live game action versus negative plays. It just appears like the majority of the time the Saints are 3 and out. It's a 3 and out offense. Overthrown passes, underthrown passes, missed opportunities, slow recognition of plays that's developing. I hate to keep going over the Minnesota Vikings game, but I had an opportunity to kind of really absorb that tape. And I was just looking at how poor Derek Carr's play recognition was, especially with the defense. The Vikings kept doing the same thing, and they didn't have an answer for it in terms of them with what Coach Brian Flores was doing to create pressure with the Saints against the Saints offense. Derek Carr wasn't, it was just ridiculous. They kept doing the same thing. They would basically pre-snap recognition of what Carr was doing. And then when Carr lifted his leg for the snap, them guys pointed at each other, then shifted, and then as soon as the ball was shift, then they shifted and then blitzed, and then it confused the Saints offensive line. They weren't able to pick up on that. Very crazy. With IQ is a big part of the Saints offensive woes too. It's IQ, because last game you see Cesar Ruiz not looking good. You seen I'm asking the question, man, is it time to kind of not overhaul the Saints offensive line, but it's time to start doing something different, man. Perhaps moving into the future, we need to kind of look at finding some more talent from an offensive line standpoint for real. Andrews Pete will be going, which a lot of people, we done got the best out of Andrews. This is true. Trevor Penning is not playing right now. And Trevor Penning, to my knowledge, is not hurt. They just saying, well, listen, we're going to just sit you down. And that is not a good thing to do. The guy's a first-round draft pick. They were frustrated by the fact that he was looking so poor, but did not say that shit. Did not say year after year that it is a bad idea to have Trevor Penning as a blindside tackle for the Saints. I said it year after year, and I said that he shouldn't be starting at the left side of the line. He shouldn't be there. If anything, he should be on the right side, and Ramczyk should be on the left side, because Ramczyk is getting all this money. He's supposed to be the best tackle we have, and he's playing right tackle. Didn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden, the first round draft pick offensive lineman is shelved. You shelved him and set him down and talking about a position change. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. That is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't really like it. Yeah, that's what he is, Gundam. He's a caveman with a play call sheet, bro. Come on. You don't know what he's doing with all that talent. But what I'm saying in terms of the Saints, with the decision made, the offensive line, to me, like they basically, Cesar Ruiz is here. McCoy is, to me, I don't know what's going on with McCoy. Some games he looks dominant, some games he don't. He has a kind of like, this year's been up and down for McCoy, and I'm like, at some point we gotta have to keep it real about what we need to do about the Saints offensive line. Like, Trevor Penning needs to play. He needs to play. You can't shelve him and just set him down and say, well, listen, imagine what that does to the young player's confidence. We worried about what happens with quarterbacks when they struggle. But what about Trevor Penning, who admitted prior to all this going on that he was dealing with confidence issues? But you picked this guy. You're supposed to do psycho evals on this guy. You're supposed to do all this stuff on this guy. And then I told them people, man, I told him, I said, bro, do not put this guy at the left tackle position. Do not put him over there. Don't start him at the blind side tackle position. He's a rookie. That's a lot of pressure. Don't do that to him. And they did it anyway. And now he ain't even playing and he ain't even freaking hurt. It's crazy, man. All right. What's up, Black Preacher, man? Shout out to you, bro. Happy Turkey Day to you, my friend. Appreciate that, man.
I want to say thank you very much for picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Yeah, because it's just strange, man, how we see these things. And I was like, dude, don't do that. They did it. They stubbornly did it. They stupidly did it. Now Penning is nowhere to be found. And then, of course, here comes the barrage of excuses for Rob Ramczyk can't do it. Or if you move him to left tackle, Q, that's going to destroy his confidence. If moving Ramczyk, who's making top 10 NFL tackle money, to left tackle, and by the way, he played that position before. Ramczyk played left tackle in college. And he moved to right because Teron Armstead was there. That's how it went. So in the end, you mean to tell me that he can't play the left tackle position and he getting paid all that money? It's absolutely ridiculous. And now Ram's dealing with knee issues. He needs rest because he got knee problems. He get beat on a weekly basis. Ramczyk getting beat all over the place. It's just it's not a good investment. Since we've given Ramczyk, we got to really look at that. Since we gave Ramczyk all of that money, and I know today's Thanksgiving, but hell, it might be a little bit too much Thanksgiving for Ramczyk to give him all of that money, and we have not gotten a good return since the Saints. Y'all put one in the chat. Let me know, one or two. Well, yay or nay, however you want to respond to this. Was it worth paying Ryan Ramczyk all of that money? And you see what he is today. Since the Saints paid Ryan Ramczyk, from my perspective, he has looked like a shell of himself. And of course, he's been dealing with issues and injuries and all this kind of stuff. But be that as it may, there have other players that we've seen that dealt with injuries. It's a physical game, and either you can handle it or you can't handle it. But this has not been a good investment, and they don't want to talk about Ryan Ramczyk. I seem to be a handful of people that want to discuss how bad Ryan Ramczyk has been looking, how stanky been looking. That right side he's not consistently doing anything correct. I mean, I'm be real. He gets beat every game, sometimes 2 or 3 times. He gets pushed down. And if it's knee issues and all that kind of stuff, bro, we need to get some of that money back, or we need to look to find somebody else to get opposite over there, man. But Trevor Penning, a first-round draft pick, is not getting any play, man. And that's crazy. You can put a first-round draft pick in that guy. He got to play. At least he does have the excuse to say the man young. He ain't played. Last year, they played him 1 game. This year, they played him a handful of games. He struggled. Well, damn. The man going to struggle. He's a young offensive lineman who didn't play he didn't start but 1 game last year. Even when he came off the injury list last year, there was about 4 to 5 games before the end of the season, and the Saints didn't even play him. I was saying at the time, Dennis Allen, you need to get that guy in there. They waited all the way to the Carolina Panther game to give him a start, and then they started him this year at left tackle, and how it turned out. He ain't even playing right now. They done totally moved him out of the starting lineup. And like I said, it was a bad idea. And Ramczyk should be over there. Not Hurst, but Ramczyk. Left tackle position is the money position for a right-handed or right-arm throwing quarterback. The guy needs to be protecting the blind side. If you can't do that, we need to get that guy out of there, man. We don't need no overpaid right tackle, man. We don't need no overpaid right tackle. We're going to have to examine that moving forward, because the Saints offensive line has looked real creaky. And Derek Carr has been banged up, and a lot of that is his fault, because he sits up there and he holds on to the ball. He's not decisive at all. He doesn't have any pocket awareness. Hell, he doesn't have a clock in his head. I'm not disparaging Derek Carr, but some of the things that I've seen him do when he was with the Raiders, he's not doing that here. He's not playing with the Raiders. He was playing with confidence and decision and decisive movements. Here with the Saints, he's creaky, he's shaky. You know, he got these big old eyes and they bucking. You know, there's a deer in a headlight look. He looks scared half the time. He's obviously not comfortable back there, and he's a lot more banged up than what the Saints are telling us the truth on. So, you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, a lot of this have to be examined because the Saints offensive line is not the strength of that offensive line was supposed to be strong with all those guys coming back. And they're not strong at all. They're up and down every damn week. And that's why the Saints can't consistently run the ball. That's why I was like, man, we got to get us a fullback to get in there to help out because they're not moving the defensive linemen off the line. They're not creating and pushing them guys out to create new line of scrimmage. They're not doing none of that. They're not beating their one-on-one matchups consistently from games to game. Some games they get totally dominated. Others they dominate. It's up and down. There's no consistency there. That's why Carr is one of the reasons why he's so uncomfortable. But we have to really examine what we're going to do with the Saints offensive line moving forward. I know the Saints invested in Cesar Ruiz. They got Nick Saldiveri there. They still have Trevor Penning. Hurst is ultimately going to be a free agent after this year. Andrews Pete is a free agent. He's going to more than likely be gone. And they paid McCoy, and still in all, man, I don't know. We got to re-examine what's going on with the Saints offensive line. I'm just talking about it. All right. So anyway, I'm just saying, what's up, Joseph? She said, shout out to you, bro. 60-40, man. Appreciate that, bro. Much love. Yeah, it's crazy. Gundam says, been saying it since 2019, Big Q, from what I recall from previous segments. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, I've been saying it, man. I was like, bro, when they started, I was like, bro, please don't do that. Because when they drafted Cesar Ruiz and said that they were going to start him at center, I begged Sean Payton, and please don't do that. And I told them, I said, here, you're going to get Drew Brees killed. You're going to get him killed by getting a rookie offensive lineman at center. Saints really didn't need to make that move because the guy they had there was good enough. But Payton only changed one thing, and that was that lineman. That offensive lineman, also the offensive line for the Saints in that Minnesota game, that last playoff game, they all were awful and terrible. All of them stunk. They all stunk. But for whatever reason, they made, I forgot my guy's name. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all know who I'm talking about. They made him the scapegoat. And so he drafted this Cesar Ruiz kid that was supposed to be a center, and the idea was move McCoy to right guard. Now, the idea is, okay, McCoy, why would you, in my mind, and this is just how I think, why was Sean Payton at the time, who drafted Cesar Ruiz, and we still talking offensive line, Saint O-line, why would he draft Cesar Ruiz to be a center when McCoy was the center? Why would he do that? And he said, well, we're going to draft Cesar. He'll be the center. We're going to move McCoy to guard. Why? Did you not like what McCoy was doing at the guard position? He in the reality is like, well, Q, he liked it. No, he didn't. Then ultimately what happened was he then switched it, because that's one of the faults of Sean Payton is that he liked to try to think that everybody could play multiple positions and do multiple things. That's what he was trying to do, and it didn't work. Cesar Ruiz ultimately looked awful in the first 2 years. Guys ran past him, and they kiboshed Drew Brees in the rookie season. Remember that? And tore him up, broke him up. That was on him. Ran right past him. Kent Street did it. Kentavious Street ran right past Cesar Ruiz. He was badly beaten and crushed Drew Brees up to high hell. And I told him, I sit up there holding my head, said, I told these people that, man. How could you be so blind to some of this stuff? This stuff is not hard at all to even much contemplate. Drew Brees could barely move at that point. It was like when Drew would scramble around and move, it was like his feet was stuck in cement. Like he was trapped in treading through beach sand. That's how fast Drew Brees was back there in that pocket. And I was like, hold on, saying to myself, these people are incredibly blind. And I was like, they can't be, I ain't gonna say this stupid, but it's blind. When you too close to the picture, you can't see everything and you need to back up. That's why it's always good to have other people around that can give you a different perspective. Sometimes you might be too close. Up on the thing where you can't see it, you got to back away to get the whole view. But it's not hard, man. It's not hard. So, I mean, I'm thinking that's what we really do need to look at. It's very clear that offensive line we need to rethink that thing. Michael, thank you, says lines look pedestrians. If that's a big if, DA, PC, and DC can walk a straight line, we can beat them. Let's pluck the Falcons first, though. Thank you, Michael. Tk you for the super chat.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Willie says, Q, you think Carr's going to get any better, especially with the concussions and the jacked up shoulder plus ribs? He won't last long. Hopefully, we'll have Jameson Taysom for the playoffs. Well, that's the unfortunate part of this because a lot of his incomplete, his erratic throwing motions, missing people and overthrowing, underthrowing, stuff like that, throwing the ball out too far and all this kind of stuff. I think that's a side effect from what's going on with his injuries. And like I've been saying for some time, the Saints always do a job of under telling people about these issues. Remember, and I go back to this, and when I was talking about it at the time before all the injuries came about, what happened with Drew, how he was busted all up and all this kind of stuff. How did we find out about Drew Brees' injuries that happened to him after that? What was it, the first or second group of issues that happened? How did we find out about that? Even with the Michael Thomas stuff that happened, how did we find out about it? Did the Saints report it and release it to us for us to figure out what was going on? No. You know how you found out about what was wrong with Drew after he got hurt and he got crunched up from his wife? His wife was on social media commenting on stuff, and she put out a tweet telling everything that was wrong with Drew. And she wasn't even trying to do a data dump. All she was doing was keeping it real on of somebody she was commenting on about with Drew Brees, about this, that, and the third. And she was like, he's dealing with this, that, and the third. So she kind of was trying to defend him. And then she let it know that's how you found out all the stuff that Drew Brees was going through. That's how you found out. The stuff with Michael Thomas, you found out some of his injuries because he was having a spat with somebody through social media and he let it slip out, or maybe he didn't. That's how we found out this stuff. And I'm saying it's the same shit. It's the same stuff going on with this Carr guy. That's why I said the guy is not, if you go and study the Raider film, and I have, he is not that, if you look at the Raider film and the Saints film, it's like two different guys out there. And this is not a confident quarterback, that's out there. The guy he doesn't look right. And I think a lot of that is because he's hurt. He's a lot more hurt than what they're telling us about. It's more than a damn shoulder. It's more, I'm telling you, the guy either got broken, I ain't gonna say broken ribs, but severely bruised ribs to the point where he probably shot up, and it's in pain. And then you see the guys knock him down. He had a concussion. He getting his ass kicked out there. And a lot of it is because of him, because he doesn't have, and I hate to just jump on the man, but I'm just keeping it real based on what I'm seeing. Because actually I like Carr. I think Carr is a decent person. I think he is a decent quarterback, but I just think it's a lot going on right here where he getting tore up. He getting tore up everywhere because he's not physically able to do what you want him to do. That's why I kept telling everybody, look, fam, we need to get the ball out of his hands and run the ball. You need to bring in Jameis to make a few throws and plays. You need to bring in Taysom. That's right. Bring in Jameis. You can still keep Carr, but kind of mix in the few plays where you use Jameis on a few plays, kind of to, bring in and mix everything up, because Carr right now, I don't think that he could be heavily relied upon right now to do a lot. Now, that's not saying that he can't heal up as we get closer to the back end of the season. But really, the Saints offense is supposed to be driven by its running game, not the quarterback. We knew that coming into this. Even Dennis Allen said it, but they're not remembering or keeping true to what they said they were going to do. We remember what they said they're going to do. We don't forget, especially me. I don't forget what you said you was going to do. I'm just saying, man, it's crazy. All right, Prophet says it's absurd how a coach who isn't capable of doing what he's paid for on the sidelines can crucify a professional athlete's performance on the field. Thank you, bro. It's strange to me, because listen, it's a bit of politics too, because that's why I like, the sports coma been going for a while. A lot of family members, sports coma been out there for a while. We've been doing this for a while, consistently and thorough for some time now. And the reason why the coma, and I often talk about it, during time, I guess it's a good time to talk about it on Thanksgiving too, because I think all of the family members, thank you guys. We'll talk about, what's so good about Saintsgiving and Thanksgiving. You guys. And that's for years and years of support and listening and putting us on your shoulders and, and for who we are, all the support over the years that you guys provided for the family base, for us and everything, man. It's just, thank you guys, man. Appreciate you. That's why I do what I do, be as thorough and as real as possible. And let me tell you, we got ears in them buildings. We got ears in the buildings with the Saints. We got ears in the buildings for the Pelicans. And the thing is, I don't give I give a real perspective. I'm not like one, and I'm not trying to talk, about somebody. I'm keeping it real. I'm not paid by the team to give commentary. I would be very cautious for anything that I get from somebody that is being paid by the organization they're supposed to be covering. That isn't whatever you getting from them people is not going to be fair and biased. If they need to give a searing critique, they will not do it because they will not slap the hand of the person that is feeding them, and they simply won't do it. So my take is, I don't have anything to do with any of that. I don't have any connections to them, so I can talk as freely as I want to. I'm not looking for tickets. I don't want no damn tickets. Right? I'm under boycott of the Saints organization right now. I'm boycotting their ass until they show me better. I'm not one of these people that want to go run up under there and then be frustrated every week when I spent all this money to come over here, man, and these people turn around and lose. Well, what you expect, man? What do you expect? You off code. You off code. Don't complain to me about being off code when you know you off code. Stop supporting them people like that until they show you better. They disrespecting you by not turning out a product and not committing the change that it ain't lying to you. The guy talks about change and doesn't implement any change, and the general manager that his boss doesn't say, didn't you promise the people change? We gonna be like what's the some bitch name? Earl K. Long, the brother of Huey P. Long, who's one of the famous governors of the state of Louisiana back in the 30s. His brother, when he talked about, he promised the people that he would not raise taxes. You know what his reply to tell the people was? He said, "Sir, what should we tell them? They're asking." You know what he said? "Tell them I lied. Tell them I lied." Yeah, that's how it goes. So no, man, you got whatever you say you're gonna do in terms of, you told the people that you was gonna make the changes to the team. The people are looking for you to make the changes. Make the damn changes. And Mickey Loomis sit up here, listen to everything this dude's saying, and saying, "Hey, you promised them changes, bro, didn't you?" "Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." "What's changes you gonna give them?" "Well, we decided not to." No. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna make these changes. You're going to make the changes that you said you were supposed to make. Now make the goddamn changes, or I'll make the changes for you. That's what a real general manager is supposed to do. Am I right? Check in the chat, one in the chat with me if you're rocking with me. That's accountability. But if a coach, or if you can call him that, can sit up there and tell you that he going to make changes for the last several weeks and don't make any changes, and then stand up to the podium and talk about they're trying to fix things and they're trying to change and turn, and not while not making no changes, what a general manager had to say, "Hold on, bro, no, you can't do that to the people. They're going to really, that's going to fall back on me. What changes that you think?" "Well, you make changes or I will make some changes." Then they'll get to making the changes. That's where the pressure comes from. When that doesn't happen, that means that this is not an accountable situation that we're dealing with, and anything can happen. All right, Cool Sports Pone says Q Jameis gives us a better chance to win, in my opinion. But that's why DA is not a good head coach, because he's not going to go away from his hand-picked favorite no matter what. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the super chat.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
All the ones in the chat, man, because that's what we do. And listen, fam, and I'm not, you could put that on anybody. Y'all know damn well what I'm talking about is real. You're not going to, it's like, and I be calling out all the little games because a lot of it's just PR, and it's aggressive, deceptive PR. They even practice it in the sports world, and it really pisses me off, because if you're going to say you're going to do something in terms of making the changes, then make the changes. It's disingenuous for you to say and announce, like if you talking to somebody in a private session, that's one thing, we didn't hear that. But if you get on the press conference and start speaking about stuff that's wrong with the team and saying what you're going to do and not do nothing about it, that's disingenuous. And that's also deception. And that's basically, you're lying. And that basically correlates with what Jameis said, that he deceived him. He lied to him about the quarterback situation last year. And he has a stigma of being a liar. Me personally, I don't want no lying ass dude sitting on top of the team, because he'll undermine certain people who are, you can't have a liar head coach. Now you can have somebody that's shrewd, that knows how to talk to people and deal with people, but this man ain't no shrewd person. I can't call him a head coach because he's not a head coach. He's not a head coach, not anybody that's worth the salt. I'm just, well, cue the team 5-5. We sitting on top of the NFC South. I hear you, brother. I appreciate you. And yes, I'm happy that the team is sitting on top of the NFC South, but I think that we have a better goal than to just be sitting here by default because everybody keeps losing. And and we lose less than they do, so hence we hold the NFC South, baby. Be proud, loud and proud that you are holding the NFC South at 5-5 because you are losing less than everybody else, baby. That's greatness. No, that's mediocrity. That's mediocrity. That's mediocrity. Yes, you're 5-5. Yes, you're on top of the NFC South, but eventually, sooner or later, one of them two other teams gonna stop losing and start winning. Then what you gonna do? Then what you gonna do? It's just crazy, man. These people crazy. All right, Black Preacher Man says they all been at their jobs too long. No one, yeah, indeed, bro. It's no one holding them accountable. This on Mickey, bro. Thank you for that.
I wanna say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Yes, indeed, man. That's a part of the measurement, Black Preacher Man, bro. We got to be better, man. No doubt about it, man. We got to be better. And that's why I was saying at the end of the day, we're going to take on the Falcons on Sunday. And like I said, we'll talk about it tonight at about 9 period, at a 9 period time, 9 p.m. Central Time. With me and Lo, we'll get on the broadcast and hash it out between the two teams. But like I said, man, we'll see. All right, Marlo says when he lied to Jameis last year was a huge red flag. Yes, indeed, bro. Yeah, that was huge because, and listen, people, listen, bro, people don't want to play for a lying head coach because he can't be trusted. He got backstabby ways. He's kind of slimy. You know, he's kind of slimy. You know, he's not a guy that's going to stand up for you unless you're Derek Carr because his job is directly connected to you. But because if he rises and falls with Carr, that's his call. He drafted the guy into the league. He brought him over here from the Raiders. But listen, he tried to get other guys, but they wouldn't come here. He tried to go and get Deshaun Watson, and boy, that would have been a dumpster fire. That dude can't stay healthy, but the Browns are winning despite Cliff. It's crazy. But he tried to go get Watson. That fell apart. Watson was using the Saints deal as leverage to build a super team in Atlanta before Cleveland foolishly came along and offered him all that guaranteed money when he was surrounded and mired in scandal. And it obviously worked out with Cleveland in a weird way because Cleveland is actually doing their thing in the AFC North. But despite Deshaun Watson not being there because they're winning without his ass. But that's who he went after. And then, of course, the other year was he didn't get who he wanted, so they settled for Jameis. Then when the next year came around, he got the guy that he wanted. And Carr, he was trying to trade for him. He finally got him because that's who he felt like would give the Saints a good opportunity to win. Now, at the onset, you would say that sounds decent because he was better than a Andy Dalton, you would think, and he would have all these people, all these weapons. How could he lose? And then you see we 5-5. So, I mean, how indeed, right? How indeed. How indeed. All right, Chantel says, Big Q, the one team that I'm worried about in the playoffs for the Saints is the Eagles. Yes, indeed, because they hit us where it hurts. And I mean that in the pun as well. Hurts. That's the big part of it. They hit us where it hurts, and it's Jalen Hurt because Hurt will scramble on the Saints, and he'll have 250 yards rushing on the Saints and 250 yards throwing on the Saints. They can't handle the Philadelphia Eagles. When Hurts is out there, he runs around and he creates problems. He hits them directly in the major weakness that they have in the inability to stop the mobile quarterback threat. And he's the most diverse or the most dynamic scrambling two-way option in the NFL currently. The Eagles do not win without Jalen Hurt. They know it. They've said it. We talked about it. Remember, we played them last year and we beat the Eagles. It wasn't the same energy with the team. He was lacking, but if he was there, it'd have been a different outcome. Yeah, he definitely provides a tough win for the Saints. Thank you.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
All right. Thank you, Chantel. Appreciate you, Queen. Tuck says Cleveland shows you can blow a bunch of money on a quarterback and still have a decent team. They're winning without Deshaun Watson. They really are. They're winning with second, and they just tired of losing and they put it on the line. And Myles Garrett has been tearing it up too. So that defense for Cleveland's really been playing strong. The running attack is there, and they've been doing a really solid job, man, of being tired of losing games. So yes, indeed. So yeah, like I said, we talked about all that, fam. We just have to see. Rock says if y'all don't beat the Falcons, it will have to see that damn grizzly smile of Big Low. Yeah, and shout out to you, Rock. I know y'all team struggling pretty bad, man. It's tough, man, watching them. I did not see Carolina as being this bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Tampa Bay would be what Carolina is when they missed out on everything. I didn't have any faith in Baker Mayfield. I thought Carolina would be where Tampa Bay is, and Tampa Bay would be where Carolina is. I really thought that. But it's just crazy how things work in the NFL, man, and how fast things fall apart, and how fast you can lose locker rooms, how fast guys and teams and coaches and everybody, they can't overcome the negative slide. And it's like the team implodes and the coach doesn't have the confidence of the players to drag them through all of the slings and arrows and from the family bases or from the media, from people on Twitter and social media that's just lambasting them, tearing them up. It is incredibly difficult and hard to bring your team through all of that adversity and say, listen, we've got to play because we're professionals. We got to give the Carolina Panthers family base something to cheer for. We are, that's tough for a coach that really they don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? And listen, they did everything right. They did in terms of free agents and drafting. He drafted a good quarterback. Because if you'd have took CJ and brought him to Carolina, would the same thing be happening? I think so. It would be, because the offensive line can't protect him. He'd have been getting tore up there. You got that offensive line is not very good. So I mean, see, it would have made a difference. They did everything right. They got a young quarterback. They picked up the skill set players. Maybe they should have done better to improve their offensive line, but they actually thought the offensive line, and they're dealing with some injuries, but they really thought the offensive line was going to be a lot better. And as a unit, they wasn't. And that's a tough one, man. So yeah, they really going through it, man. But damn, I didn't see that, man. I know, man. I didn't see none of that, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Be honest, actually, I don't even think we'll be in the playoffs. I don't deserve it. We put like this. Most of the team shaking my. I don't. It depends. Like if you, man, see they lose to Minnesota, so which means the Saints should beat Atlanta, right? And then they'll lose to Detroit. I'm just showing you how this is the. See, it's not. I've learned to focus on the Saints team, not so much as from a talent perspective. And I said this over the last several weeks. And I'm not, I'm being as balanced and as fair as I possibly can be with my commentary and as real as I can be. I do think the Saints ultimately will make the playoffs. I do think they make the playoffs, but I think that they will not shake the up and down nature of the team because it's not a talent issue. It is a schematic issue. It is a leadership issue. That the reason why they're up and down is not something that a player on the field could affect consistently game after game. That is something that has to be addressed at the head coach level. He has to be able to balance the team and make sure things happen correctly from week to week and that they honor the positive moves and things that they did from game to game, whatever positive plays that they created or schemes that they use, that they replicate those in weeks after week after week after week. And he doesn't have the discipline. He being Dennis Allen, the head coach, does not have the discipline from what I have seen over these last several years to consistently focus on the things that work and to get his players to buy in. Why? They won't listen to him because why should they listen to him? They still getting paid, number one. And if they fail, he's not going to pull them out of the game. So there's no fear of God, so to speak. You know what I mean? There's no fear of leadership, is what I'm saying, because there's no leadership. I can go out here and I can, like what happened with Carl Granderson, and shout out to Carl Granderson. But in the Minnesota game, remember he grabbed that guy's face mask, frustratedly grabbed his face mask and cost the team a 15-yard penalty in which they moved the ball to success. Remember that? Carl Granderson should have been pulled off the field when he did that. Was he pulled off the field? Absolutely not. And that's when Tyrann Mathieu did it later on in the game. And I'm like, what you doing, brother? You know better than that. And it was a frustrative thing because they were getting walked up the field. Was he pulled off the field? No, he wasn't. So you can do any damn fool thing you want and still play. That means that there is no fear of authority. There is no fear of leadership. There is no accountability because guys can screw up and still play. And the only thing you have on these players outside of cutting them or trading them is removing playing time. That's like putting their feet in the fire when you take a player's playing time away from them. That's all you have over them. And he doesn't do it because he's not a leader. He's not accountable. He's not a disciplinarian. And that's why the team will be a Waffle House ass team. They'll be waffling between wins and wins. They're going to win one game, lose one game. They're going to win another game, lose another game. That's how they're going to be from up week up to week because they can't consistently maintain. Now, they did have they won a couple games in a row. But notice how that don't last. They can't consistently sustain winning over a long period of time. They're going to waffle between wins, loss. They might pick up 2 and then they'll lose 1 or 2. That's they can't shake the mentality. That's the head coach's mentality of the team. Is what it is. They can't shake that. All right. So anyway, let's move on, fam. Let's hit the next interview. This is a guy that we're going to talk about here. We're going to bring him on in here and let him talk on it. Jason Pierre-Paul is another dude we're going to let play. Now, Jason Pierre-Paul, the Saints just picked him up, and not just picked him up, but they picked him up a couple of about a week or so ago to bring in some pressure because, well, not just pressure, but to get sacks. You know, we talk about pressuring the quarterback. It don't make a difference if you pressuring the quarterback. You could pressure him all day. If you pressuring him out the pocket and he scrambles out toward the left, extend the play and throw a 30-yard touchdown or a check down that turns into a 25-yard pickup, what good is the pressure? You just pressured him into a positive play. But if you pressure him into a sack or pressure him into a turnover, those are the things that matter. But JPP is a decision the Saints decided to bring in because the Saints need to get more sacks. They are almost back 18-20 in terms of sacks. They started off pretty good, and this is completely falling apart. The Saints can't get to the quarterback. They're not sacking the guy. Most of the time, it looked like the quarterbacks they're trying to get to or have been draped in bacon grease. They try to grab him, but he slips through their grasp. It's like a bad Three Stooges act that you see going on with the defense. We can't seem to get and sack the quarterback consistently, plus early, not later on in the game, but early to throw their rhythm off to make them uncomfortable. We get to them late. We got to start getting to these guys a lot sooner, and JPP was brought in to do that. Let's see what he had to say from
a lot. Where do you feel like you are physically right now?
Physically, I feel good. You know, I feel like I haven't missed a beat. You know, I've been training all this I can't call it all season, through the whole time that I've been missing football. I've been training, keeping myself busy. So I haven't missed a beat. So.
What did you know about this team? Did you have anybody that you spoke with, from the coaches to the players, or any kind of history?
I know a couple players, and you know, obviously I was at the Bucks, and I played this team well enough to know them and know some players on it. But you just plug and go.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. At this point in your career, do you feel like you've played enough football that you can just kind of pick it up quick, plug and go?
I'm just doing what they ask me. You know, I'm here to, service and, to help out, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
One of the things this defensive line specifically has been struggling with is defending mobile quarterbacks. Do you feel like your game can help in that area?
I played a lot of football, so, mobile quarterbacks ain't really a thing to me. So, no, it's just the way you play, so.
How do you feel like how has it been picking up the terminology, and has it been natural?
It's different. It's the same thing. It's obviously it's the same thing, but just different terminology and different ways of saying things. And but once I ask a lot of questions if I don't know something, so it's gonna be easy for me to figure out things and get
right back on track. So
What is the process for learning it? Like, is you going home like reciting it? Like, what do you kind of do to kind of memorize it?
being on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, you can be in the classroom, but a lot of guys learn differently. When I'm out there, if I make a mistake, then I correct myself right then and there, and I ask the coach why you said this or said that, and then he'll explain to me, and then it's just I jot it down, and I won't do the same mistake twice. So it's basically just being out there and getting the feel for it.
Anybody in particular that you've been talking to or leaning on for help?
All the guys, today I was out there talking to all the guys. I got a couple plays in out there, and when I was out there, I'm a loud vocal person, especially on the field. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody will correct me, otherwise I'm right. But but I was out there being vocal, and this is a football. You got to talk out there. So those guys are doing a perfect job talking and filling in. And if I wasn't certain of something, they told me no, it's this, and we talk it out before the play, and then we get right to it.
As far as
and this is the thing. And people ask me before, will he play Sunday? Is the question. I think he'll get in there and play for the Saints. I think they'll roll him out. And pretty much JPP will be just the guy that he has to create some disruption for the Saints. And you got Granderson, you got Cam, and you can see them mixing JPP in there. I mean, this guy been doing what he's been doing for years. Now he's in his middle 30s right now. We're not expecting him to be JPP of 5 years ago. When the Saints should have went out and got a guy like this, you know what I'm saying? Just go out and spend the money to get somebody that's going to do something. Eventually this is the mode of the Saints to eventually get some of these guys in their later years, and hopefully they can squeeze out 3 or 4 sacks from JPP before the end of the year, and he turns some stuff into something. But he's fresh. He's not worn down. He played last year with the Ravens. He waited all the way. This is the halfway portion of the year. So he had that going for him. He's 100% healthy. And I think he helps. And I'm not counting on him to be the JPP of yesteryear when him tearing it up. But I think he does come in and help because JPP is good. He'll be relied upon if they use him, unlike what we see happening with Jimmy Graham, by the way. We got Jimmy Graham, who's obviously could help the Saints offense. He's a 6'6" target who catch the balls that Derek Carr throw at 7 foot phantom players every game. He'll actually get up there and go up there and catch the ball, especially in the red zone. We don't see him playing at all. So, I mean, hopefully we can, and we say hopefully because it really won't change because there is no change. They're not announcing anything. They just keep doing the same thing, thinking, hey, if we do it better, if we do the same thing over again, but we do it better, we're going to call that change. No, something's not right. You can't keep doing that stuff because obviously, one, they don't like those plays. It is something wrong with them. You need to focus on the plays that actually work, the ones that were consistently working over time. And that's both for the defense and offensive side of things. That we got a very expensive offense with a very expensive quarterback that people are going to want to see some results from. We have a good running attack when we use it, but the offensive line is a major issue, which is why I was preaching that the Saints should have went out and gotten a fullback as opposed to using our big nose tackle as a fullback. That's cool and novel in red or in goal line situations. We bring out our nose tackle to be a fullback. But what about between the 20s? Well, we can actually use a fullback to block in front of Alvin Kamara so he can get to the second level of defenses. It's just, and the thing is, where's the imagination with that? Even if you are even Arthur Smith would do that. He would utilize his fullback. He would use the fullback in front of a Bijan Robinson or a Tyler Algier. He would actually use that because he understands the power of the power I formation. When you know how to utilize it, can bring you a lot of success. And the Saints are gifted enough to use a very good power I formation with a fullback, but the Saints don't use they got a fullback on a roster, but they don't use them. Which was one of the things in the Minnesota game that I kind of pinpointed on is that they activated that damn tight end and then didn't even use the dude and then cut Keith Kirkwood in a game where they needed Keith Kirkwood. They had A.T. Perry out there, and credit A.T. Perry went out there, got him a touchdown. He made a few catches, but he had some drops that we really needed to have happened. If Keith Kirk was out there, he would have made a few of them, them plays. I don't even know if A.T. Perry would have played if Keith Kirkwood was available. He probably wouldn't have. But we did put Keith Kirkwood in the street. We waived him, and they brought him back. And then they re-signed Prentice for what? What are we going to do? You don't use the man. Cut him. Get a spot from somebody else. Get another running back. I just don't like having spots on this team that we don't use. And a fullback spot, the Saints don't utilize the fullback enough. In concept, they should, but they don't. That's the point. The point is only use what you have to fully use everything that you got to win. And if you're not doing that, then you are jackass. You are playing, you're messing around, you're not serious about what you're doing. And it's, to me, it's absolutely crazy. And back, for them to have a fullback on the active roster that they don't even use. They don't even use the dude. I don't get that, man. I've been talking about that for I don't know how long, and they simply, we got him off the IR, we activate him, say, cool. They got a fullback now. Let's see if we use him. No fullback. Elvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, all running naked. They're all running into the holes, and they're meeting up with Jordan Hicks. I'm like, it would be pretty cool if you had a fullback to blow that linebacker up so Elvin Kamara can get to the third level of the defense. It'd be pretty cool. We don't see it because they don't even think about it, man. I'm like, dude, how do we have a fullback we never use? Cut the damn dude and bring somebody we do use. It's just ridiculous, man. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Night Ward, Larry, how you doing, sir? Happy Thanksgiving to you, man. Appreciate you. Falcons have better conference record than the Saints. We should give them the tie break. We got to beat these guys, bro, and I think we will. All right, happy holidays to you, 504 Doc. Much love, fam. Appreciate you. Clint, shout out to you as well. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, but this is the thing. The Cowboys are playing good playing basketball. I'm thinking Pelicans. They playing good football. They playing real confident football at home. They're actually taking the energy of being at home and playing. They're actually utilizing all of their wide receivers, Gallup, Cooks, who we used to have, and CeeDee Lamb is absolutely ridiculous. And Prescott is having a good series. He's having a good year. He's finding his people. They're running the ball. They're blocking. They look cool. They look good. And they are a contender. They're playing with confidence. The defense is knocking your block off. You can't hold the ball very long because they put pressure on you. They'll bring you down. They got heavy hitters. They got speed. They got it all. Their secondary is playing with a lot of confidence. And they got guys that hurt, and the Saints and the Cowboys still playing with confidence. Malik Hooker was out there. I was saying the Saints need to sign Malik Hooker. We didn't get Malik Hooker. Hooker was good when the Colts picked him up. They just didn't know how to utilize him. The Cowboys got him in there on a cheap prove-it deal. He won a contract, and look how he balling for him in the secondary. It's all about vision and knowing what you can do with these people. But the Saints don't have any vision. They don't have no vision, and they need to. And like I said, I just want to see them, because I know they're not going to change unless they're forced to. But I just want to see more consistent football, which more than likely, I'm not being negative, I'm just being real. You're going to see an up and down team. They'll beat the Falcons and lose to the Lions. The Lions coming off a loss Thanksgiving. They lost to the Green Bay Packers, who also beat us. We had them 17-0. We let them score 18 points in 11 minutes. Remember that? Should have won that game. But they lost to Green Bay today, and Green Bay is turning into a nice little squad. They got some talent. You can't never put down a young, good coach like Matt LaFleur is a dude since he's been in Green Bay. He knows how to run the offense. People respect him. He's a leader. He got the Green Bay Packers believing. They went in there in Detroit and they kicked their tails on Thanksgiving. And the Green Bay defense was doing their thing, and the offense was doing their thing, and they was able to get a dub. And Detroit's going to be kind of pissy about it because Detroit is going to fly down to New Orleans after 2 weeks from now, or a week from now. And they're going to take on the Saints pissed off after the Thanksgiving game. How you think that's going to go? So, I mean, in the end, that's what I'm preparing myself for, up and down team, because that's the mentality and the mindset of the head coach. He doesn't – when the last time he disciplined somebody? Set them down because they was doing something wrong. He don't do that. You just sit up there and look and make excuses at the end of the game and talk about we need to be better. We need to make changes, and changes never come. This dude is he the exact opposite of Sam Cook. A change is gonna come, not if Dennis Allen running the ship. All right. So anyway, You heard that we heard from them, but if you got some questions, fam, I'm gonna get ready to get out on that on this Thanksgiving special. You guys got a few questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I just think at the end of the day, we're gonna like I said, me and Lo gonna pop up later about 9 o'clock Central Time. We'll preview the Saints and Falcons matchup tonight. And we'll keep it going, but it'll be interesting to see how all of it's gonna go. Thank you, Prophet. I want to say thank you very much for buying a car knowing it's going to break down. Well, he got beat up pretty bad. That car has several accidents. People and T-boned it, ran into it, and broke it, and smashed it. The frame on it is dented. You know, if you want to talk about car analogies, bro, and how he's been in several accidents, he's been beat up pretty good. You know, you might need to total that car because I think the frame has been on it. I mean, he got hit up pretty good, man. He got hit up pretty good. The Green Bay slammed down. The concussion that he got hit, and it's the fact that he got to know how to get out of danger, man. Even when remember the play when he scrambled and fell forward, tripped up 2 yards short of the first down. He was running. I was just happy he didn't fumble the ball away because he was running and holding the ball like a loaf of bread. He was holding it out like he was going to throw it, and you were well beyond he was beyond the line of scrimmage. You was beyond the line of scrimmage. You ain't gonna fool anybody with that. And if somebody would have hit him, that ball would have came out. So yeah, I don't know if I want him to run, man. I don't know if he knows how to tuck that ball. All right, Black Preacher Man said DA disciplined Jameis for talking about him. Yeah, he just simply didn't play him, bro. That's how he did Jameis. He didn't play Jameis. He simply didn't. He didn't say nothing to Jameis. He just didn't play him. That's what happened. And I did say that last year, fam. Thank you for the super chat, bro.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Thank you, Black Preacher Man. Tuck says, have we signed Leonard? No Shaq Leonard. We need him on the field Sunday. Don't hold your horses on that. Don't hold up thinking about you're gonna get that guy. You're not gonna get I'll be really surprised if we got Shaq Leonard, man. I don't think the Saints gonna end up with Shaq Leonard, to be honest with you. I would be surprised. I would say a no to that. That would make too much sense for us to end up getting Shaq Leonard. That would be That would be a huge move for the Saints defense. That would pump a lot of energy into the Saints defense because I don't think the Saints have a player at his position that can do that. Now we do have, we got a few players there. We got a DeMario but that dude's a different type of player altogether. And that'll make too much sense for the Saints to talk about getting him. I wouldn't hold yourself to that. I wouldn't wait there and waiting for that to happen. I don't think that's going to go on. All right, shout out to WMG. He said, I hate to admit it, but the Cowboys, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. Cowboys have been playing good football. That's what they do. You know, they've been playing really good football. They believe in the scheme. They're fully utilizing their talent. The quarterback is getting the ball to the skilled receivers. The running back is running, but the line is blocking, where he's hitting the holes with confidence. He's picking up 9 yards just in the Thanksgiving Day. You seen Pollard picking up 8-9 yards a chunk. You know, when the last time we seen Elvin Kamara average almost 5 yards a play in the 9 times he ran against the Minnesota Vikings, but the Saints went away from it. They got too one-dimensional in the second because they felt like we needed to catch up. But in the end, you know, we still fell short by several different things. You know, we couldn't move it. Not really excited about an offense led by Derek Carr because the offense, even though they say they do, they don't believe in Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is not showing them enough of anything. You know, he's not showing them anything but overthrows, dysfunction, discommunication. You know, it's just he's not showing them enough consistently, and that's what if you want him to do anything, be consistent at it. You know, and he's consistent at being inconsistent. That's all I can basically say. Is that's pretty much what Derek Carr is, and enough said. He's an inconsistent starting quarterback. That's why his numbers look like what they are. He's with all the talent that he has, man, this team should be a top 5 offense. but he's inconsistent. He's inconsistent because he's not confident in the offensive line and it's a lot of stuff. The offensive line is not very good, man. It's not. And I look at it on film. When you roll screens out, they miss blocks on screens. James Hurst did it. McCoy did it. When you roll out a screen, it'd be 3 offensive linemen in front of Kamara. You thinking it's going to get him at least 15 to 30 yards, and then they don't block anybody, and a guy shoots past there and tackles Alvin Kamara. Happened several times in the Minnesota Viking game. How we rolling screens with 3 linemen in front of Kamara, and Kamara gets tackled. The guy Pete doesn't make the block, or is McCoy blows the block and let the guy just runs right past him, and he goes in there and tackles Kamara. I mean, it's just like how old are these guys? How long have you been? You're not new to what they're doing. It's the same stuff Peyton ran, but it's a difference because Peyton would fuss at you. Peyton would cuss you out. Peyton would get on you. If you are a big lineman making all this money and you running past guys you're supposed to block, Sean Payton wouldn't have that. Pete Carmichael ain't fussing at nobody, despite what Jamal Williams said earlier in the year. They're not scared of these guys because there is no leadership. There is nobody forcing these guys' feet to the fire. There's no guys threatening to bench these guys and benching them when they don't do what they're supposed to do. And that tells. That's why I said it's an up and down 50-50 team. Cowboys look good against mediocre bad teams, but any team like the Eagles or the 49ers give them problems. Hell, that'll give us problems, Willie. Yeah, Be Kind says erratic passes unsafe. Yeah, it's a lot. You have to be, some of the passes Carr throws, you have to be 7 feet tall to catch them. That's why I say you might as well put Jimmy Graham in there. That's the close you got. Jimmy was 6'6", 6'7". He jumps up, he can get that. You know, so maybe we need to get him involved. But anyway, listen, fam, I'm going to get out on that. Listen, man, we'll be back later on today. We'll do the Saints-Falcons preview. Listen, I want to thank everybody, man, for the support. Shout out to the entire Who Dat Nation. Happy birthday. Happy Who Dat birthday to Be Kind. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. And shout out to the fam. Appreciate all of the support that you guys have been giving. Happy Saints-giving, as I call it. Big ups to all the fam. Hope y'all guys had a fantastic holiday today. And for the rest of your holiday weekend, man, enjoy it, man, and kick back if you can. I know most of y'all probably can't move right now. Y'all kind of all got the itis and y'all just, just laid up, listen to me. I try not to eat too much so I can do this broadcast. So I don't. But yeah, man, listen, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all feel free to check out the community section. We got for the pro shop, we got an unbelievable sale going on all pro media merch. It's 30, even up to 30 to 40% off right now for our Black Friday sale. So if you wanted to get something to support the platform, our Fire DA merch is available. Our No Excuse merch is available. We got some other stuff, the Who That's, some of the classic stuffs like the Dat Slap, all that stuff is available. When women, men, children, all that stuff is, I mean, we got a lot of merch, man. We had the pro shops for like 2 or 3 years now. So it's thousands of products on there, from anywhere from bed linen to clothing, all kind of stuff, man, we got on there. So coffee mugs, all that, y'all can check all that out. The links is in the description section below. Simply go to the community page and check it out. I mean, some really good sales going on, 30 to 40% off right now. So it'll be a good time to support the platform. So with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. Now I'll see y'all guys a little later when we do the preview of the Saints and the Falcons with Big Low. Much love to the fam. Who Dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.